Hey guys, Prodigy here, and I'm here to bring you a video about champion points for new players. I will be going over each three constellations, explaining every node, how it works in PvP specifically, okay? Now this video is aimed at new players, but anybody can watch it and learn something. Okay, not wasting any more of your time, so let's get into the first one, the green tree, which is focused on craft. Alright guys, the green tree, which is located on the left side of the screen, in case you're colorblind. Craft is the name of it. It is focused mainly on ledgerman tasks, thieving passives, and pretty much quality of life passives in ESO, okay? Now, some of them can apply to PvE and PvP, okay? So let's go over them. Starting at the very top. War Mount. Improves your mastery with mounts, removing all mount stamina costs outside of combat. Now what that means is, whenever you're not aggro to an enemy, you're not in combat, right? Your stamina, it doesn't cost any stamina to do anything on your mount, like jump, sprint on your mount, gallop, I guess you could say, go faster. When you're outside of combat and you have this skill slotted, you won't use any stamina outside of combat, just like it says, okay? And before I get any further, guys, we have the champion bar, right? Up right on the top. On Xbox, you hit Y to get to it. Once you're there, you have your slottables, which is, some of these are passives where you can fill out, but some of them are slottables, and the nodes that are slottable, it says a sign on the bottom left hand of the corner, okay? That means it's a slottable and it can be put into the champion bar on the top, okay? You can only have 4 in each constellation active at once, so choose them wisely. Alright? And they all appear on the left side of the screen. You can choose to, assign whatever ones you want to the bar, okay? Now, we just explained War Mount. Let's go down to the next one. We're going to go this way. Plentiful Harvest. You have a 10% chance to gain double the yield from normal resource nodes per stage. So what this means is, this is for all you crafters out there. When you're harvesting, I guess you could say. When you harvest a node for resources, let's say a rubidite ore node, right? You have more of a chance to get double the amount you normally would if you put points into this skill right here. Now, each 10 champion points is equal to 10%, and if we fill it all the way to 50, it would be, let's see, actually, you know what, yeah, let's do that now. Oh, never mind, I can't because I'm too poor. It would be 50%, right? If you filled this all the way out to 50, you have a 50% chance to get double the resource nodes, all right? When you're harvesting. Next is Homemaker. 10% chance to find a second furnishing plan whenever you find a furnishing plan in the world. Now, this you just put 25 points into, and it's a flat 10% chance to find another furnishing plan when you find a furnishing plan in the world. Let's say you're going through a dungeon and you loot a crate, right, or a box or a barrel, and there's a plan in there. This node right here, if you have this filled out and assigned, will make it so you have a 10% chance to find another one. All right, let's go down to the next one. This one here is another assignable. See, because it says assignable in the bottom left hand corner. So it is Reel Technique. Decrease the time it takes for a fish to bite by 25%. Now you add 50 points to this. It's a flat 25%. Decreases the time. Now when you're fishing and the fish are biting, I mean, it's almost self-explanatory. Decreases the time it takes for a fish to bite. So the fish will bite sooner. So you're fishing, you can fish more and have more progress, right? All right, next one. Angler's Instincts. Increases the chance of catching higher quality fish, akin to fishing with another player. This effect can stack with other similar bonuses. This gives a 25 points for flat 25 points, another assignable. So this basically means you get a higher chance of getting quality fish, because most of the time you get, you know, basic fish. Some people want that perfect roe, right? So this ups the chances of you getting a better quality fish, okay? And it is an assignable. Go down to this one, which is another assignable. This one is used in PvP, although I don't use it, but it is beneficial. Liquid efficiency. When you use a potion or poison, you have a 10% chance to not consume it. Flat 75 points. Now what that means is, whenever you use a potion, or one of your poisons on your weapons, you have a 10% chance for it not to be consumed. So this helps a lot with money, right? Gold's in the game. You don't have to buy as much potions or poisons if you want to slot this to preserve some of your stock, okay? I feel like it's way too much champion points for a small return, but that's just my opinion. All right, and that is an assignable. Another assignable, Sustaining Shadows. Reduces the cost of sneak by 1% per stage. Now, this goes up to 50, so it would be reduce the cost of sneak by 50% per stage. This is very good for Nightblades, you know, sneaky players. It can work in PvP and PvE. It just means it takes this, because it costs stamina to sneak, okay? Now this reduces cost by 50%, so you'll be sneaking for half the amount if you have this assigned, alright? Next is Professional Upkeep. Reduces the cost of repairing armor by 1% per stage. It can get up to 50%, so yeah, when you're repairing your armor, and it costs gold to repair, you have this slotted, it'll be 50% cheaper, alright? This one of my favorites, Steed's Blessing, an assignable, increases your out-of-combat movement speed by 0.4 per stage. Goes up to 20% movement speed when I'm out of combat. Now, everybody likes moving quick, right? And especially out of combat, you just want to get places, alright? This is good to boost your movement speed, alright guys? And it is an assignable. Next, another one of my favorites, Rationer, an assignable. You put 30 into it, and it adds 10 minutes to the duration of any food or drink that increases your character stats per stage. Now, if you max it out, it's 30 minutes. This is very good since some of the food in PvP and PvE is expensive, right? We want to get the most bang for our buck, alright? So, next one, we'll go up to here. Steadfast Enchantment. Your weapon enchantments have a 10% chance to not consume a charge when activated per stage. This can go all the way up to 50% chance, right? And this is not a slottable, guys. This is a passive, so you could fill this out. So, when you have enchantments on your weapon, right? Sometimes it applies the effect of the enchantment. And when you use that effect, there's a charge bar on your weapon, okay? And it will go down after using it so many times. But this passive right here makes it so it will decrease, or has a 50% chance to not consume a charge. So that will help a lot with your soul gems, because you have to use a soul gem to recharge your weapon, your enchantment on your weapon. This will help with minimizing the amount of soul gems you use to charge your weapons, okay guys? Next we have Treasure Hunter. This is an assignable. Increase the quality of items you find in treasure chests. Now this means is, when you're in dungeons or out in the world, you have a better chance to find, blue or purple items in treasure chests rather than green, okay? The higher quality, okay? And it is an assignable, like I said. Next, we have Master Gatherer. Reduces the time it takes to harvest by 10% per stage. Now this actually, and it is an assignable, goes all the way up to 75, okay? Now, it takes a couple seconds to harvest the node, right? If you have this maxed out, it will be super quick, okay? Now, I'm not sure this is completely beneficial, but to each their own, okay, guys? Gifted Rider, one of my favorites. Increases your mount speed by 2% per stage. There's 100 points that go all the way up to 10% extra mount speed. This stacks with other forms of mount speed, okay, guys? We really want this, especially in PvP. If you're in Cyrodiil, you definitely want this, okay? PvE, also, too, you want to be able to get around fast, okay? These are, like I said, quality of life changes. Quality of life champion tree, okay? Now I guess we'll go down to this one. Meticulous disassembly improves the chances of extracting woodworking, blacksmith, clothing, jewelry ingredients, and allows refining of more powerful resins, tempers, tannins, and platings from raw materials. Okay, and it is an assignable, 50 points. Now you'll see when you're crafting and you're refining stuff to, make certain metals or certain, what do you want to call it, clothing, you're refining it to make the item, right? This improves your chances of getting the ingredients when you disassemble things or when you refine things. It makes your chances better, okay, guys? Fade away. Escaping from a guard wipes 25% of your current heat, but not bounty. 50 points, and it is an assignable. Now, when you escape from a guard, it says it wipes 25% of your current heat, but not bounty. What that means is your heat is the guard's pretty much attention on you. Now, if you have no heat, but a bounty, the guards will not chase you and try to kill you. When they see you, they'll want their money, but heat means they are actively chasing you, okay? Now, what this passive does is that it wipes 25% of your heat, which makes you be able to get away a lot easier. Alright, so we went over these. Got that one. Now we're going to go this way. Cut Purse's Art. Increase the chance to get higher quality loot when pickpocketing. 75 points, and it is an assignable. Now, when you're pickpocketing, this is pretty self-explanatory. You increase the chance to get higher quality items, right? Like blue or purple instead of green. Alright, guys. Next one. Shadow Strike. When you kill an enemy with a Blade of Woe, you become invisible for 5 seconds after a short delay while distracting nearby enemies or potential witnesses. While under this effect, you can cast Blade of Woe. 75 points. That is an assignable. What this means is, part of the Dark Brotherhood skill line, you get the Blade of Woe. Now, when you kill someone with it, you become invisible so you can get away easier, okay? This is for assassins in PvE, okay, guys? Next, we have Infamous. Increases the value of fenced items by 25%. Goes to 25. It is an assignable. Now, what this means is your stolen items that you're trying to sell to fences, it will increase the value by 25%, alright? So instead of getting 100 gold, you'll get 25 or 125, okay? Next, Friends in Low Places removes 1,000 gold from your bounty once per day when committing a crime where bounty is added. You must be level 50 for this passive to activate, and your current bounty must be at or greater than 1,000 gold. 25 points, and it is an assignable, okay, guys? Now, if you're just a guy that racks up bounty every day, stealing stuff, killing innocent people, this is very helpful, okay? It removes 1,000 gold from bounty once per day. But it's really not that useful, guys. We don't want that, okay? Fortune's Favor. Increase the amount of gold you find in treasure chests and safe boxes by 10%. So 50 points, and it is a passive, guys, so definitely fill this out. Now, when you open up treasure chests, you know you get gold, right? A lot of times you get gold. This increases the gold found by 50%, okay, guys? Now, Inspiration Boost. Increase your crafting inspiration gain by 10% per stage, all the way to 45. It is a passive, so you want this. Now, when you're crafting and you got your skill lines, blacksmithing, clothing, woodworking, when you're doing those things, you get your experience gained from that is improved by 10% per stage. Okay, guys, so you'll level up those skill lines a lot faster. Alright, next, I believe we can go to Wanderer. Reduce the cost of way shrine uses by 10% per stage. This means when you're fast traveling to way shrine, or when you fast travel to a way shrine, right, that costs money, this reduces the cost of that, alright, guys? And it's a passive, so we definitely want to fill this out. It goes all the way to 75. Breakfall, this is one of the very important ones for PvP. Reduce your fall damage by 7% per stage, all the way to 35%, guys. It is a passive. We want that. Get that. Soul Reservoir, when you resurrect yourself or another player, you have a 33% chance to not consume a soul gem. Self-explanatory, when you resurrect yourself for a friend, you might not consume a soul gem if you have this passive all the way at 33. Alright, guys? Gilded Fingers, increase your gold gain by 2% per stage. This is self-explanatory. Your gold gained is increased by 10% per stage. So, you know, whenever you get gold from any sources, it will be increased by 10% if you have this passive unlocked, okay, guys? And I'm pretty sure the last two ones will be these two. Out of sight. Reduce the radius you can be detected while sneaking by 1 meter per stage, okay, guys? Now, this goes all the way up to 30 for 3 meters. Reduce the radius you can be detected while sneaking. This works for PvP and PvE, alright? So, you will add, and it is a passive, so you definitely want this if you're an assassin, or if you're in PvP and you sneak a lot. When you're sneaking, you have a radius you can be detected, okay? This adds 3 meters to that radius. Might not seem a lot, but it is very beneficial, especially if you're a Nightblade, guys, alright? Last one in the green tree, Fleet Phantom. Reduce movement speed penalty of sneak by 5% per stage, all the way up to 40 points. And it is a passive also, guys, alright? Now, when you're in sneak, you move slower, alright? Now what this does is, it makes it reduce that movement speed penalty, so you'll be faster while sneaking. Alright, guys? Alright guys, now we're moving on to the blue tree. On the champion screen, it's the one in the middle right here, called Warfare. This one consists of defense and offense for PvP and PvE. Alright, let's get into it. All the way at the top, let's start here. Alright, this is an assignable Thaumaturge. Increase your damage done with damage over time effects by 2% per stage, all the way up to 10%. 50 points. This increases the damage of your dots, guys. Okay? Any effects that go over 10 seconds, for example, you do 5,000 flame damage over 10 seconds, right? That's a damage over time effect. That's a dot. Thaumaturge buffs the damage on those effects. Okay, guys? Next is Master at Arms. Increase your damage done with direct damage attacks up to 10%. Another assignable, slottable if you will. Direct damage means anything that does damage up front. Alright guys, not a dot. Pretty much everything besides dots, okay, because they do their damage over time. Direct damage is damage up front. So this applies to everything besides dots, alright? 10% damage. Biting Aura is damage done with area of effect attacks, right? Area of effect attacks being attacks that cover an area that can affect multiple people at once, alright? Now this buffs it by 10% if maxed out. It is an assignable, guys. And then Deadly Aim is increase your damage done with single target attacks. Same, 10% is a slottable. Single target attacks meaning attacks that are only meant for one target, guys. Alright, not area of effect, just single target attacks. This buffs, the Deadly Aim buffs the damage for that, alright? And these up here are all slottables, okay guys? Now we'll go into Extended Might, which is a tree that houses other nodes, alright? Piercing grants offensive penetration. Now this is spell pen and physical pen, guys, alright? Penetration allows us to get through enemies' armor, right? Whether that be PvE or PvP. Say a guy has 20k armor, if you have 10k penetration, you'll be only dealing with 10k of his armor because you've penetrated through 10k of it already, alright? So you definitely want this. It's not a slottable, it's a passive, you definitely want it, guys. Alright, right here, Flawless Ritual, increase your chance to apply a magical status effect by 30%. This goes up to 60%. It's a passive. Definitely get this if you're on a Magicka character, guys, because it increases the chance to apply magical status effects. Now that's anything from burning from fire, brittle from ice, concussed from lightning. That applies, those are magical status effects, right? And having this increases our chances to apply that. War Mage gives us 100 weapon and spell damage to our magical attacks. Okay? This takes 30 points, and it is a passive, so if you're on a mage character, you want this, guys. I don't think it shows in your stat screen, but it passively is there, alright? It will give you more damage to your Magicka attacks. This one right here is a slottable. Increase your damage done with light and heavy attacks, right? This is self-explanatory. Goes all the way up to, I believe, 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15. So 15% extra damage done with light and heavy attacks, guys. Alright, that's what this one does, and it's an assignable. Light and heavy attacks is basically you just hitting the trigger button on your Xbox to just hold it down for heavy or tap it for light, right? This increases the damage of that. Alright, so now on this side is Battle Master. Increase your chances to apply a martial status effect by 30%, up to 60% if you max it out. This is a passive. This martial status effects is, you know, bleeding that you can get from dual wield, you know, or hemorrhaging, reduce your max health. This node increases the chance to apply status effects from weapons. Alright, guys? Not staffs like magic, but this is the opposite for melee weapons, bow and arrow, and such. Okay, guys? And this right here, Mighty, grants 100 weapon and spell damage to your martial attacks. You know, physical, poison, disease, and bleed. This is another passive that you want if you're a stamina character. Alright, guys? It passively adds 100 weapon and spell damage to your martial attacks. So we definitely want that. Now, backing out of that tree, we'll go to these ones down here. Arcane Supremacy, increase your max magicka by 26 per stage, guys. This is self-explanatory. It is an assignable, so pay attention to that. This is just to get more max mag, right, for if we need more max magicka. Untamed Aggression, increase your weapon and spell damage. This gives us 150, I believe, weapon and spell damage, and that will reflect in our stat page. It is an assignable. This one, Endless Endurance, increase our max stamina by 26 per stage. It is an assignable, and like it says, it increases your max stamina if you need more stamina. Alright? Next, we're going to go here. Tireless Discipline grants 260 stamina per stage. This is a passive, guys. You want this. Alright? Gives us more stamina to roll, dodge, block, whatever. Okay? We're going to go down this way. Staving Death is a tree, right? Now let's go into Staving Death. First one, increase your quick recovery. Increase your healing taken by 1% per stage. Healing taken could mean healing from yourself or your teammates, right? It just means the actual healing that you take in from any source, okay, guys? This is a passive, and we want this. You always want this, okay, guys? This one down here is a passive. Reduce your damage taken from non-player attacks by 5%. This is really good for PvE, but believe it or not, it's good for PvP too. Because when you're in Cyrodiil or Imperial City, you got NPCs trying to kill you. I mean, and they hurt sometimes. So this reduces the damage for them, okay, guys? It's a very highly recommended passive. Definitely try to get it. Alright? What other passive? Another passive, reduce your damage taken from martial attacks, guys. Up to 2% damage mitigation. Very important for PvE and PvP, okay? It's a passive. The next passive, Elemental Aegis. Reduce your damage taken by magical effects by 1% per stage, up to 2%. Like I said before with the other one, it's good for PvE and PvP. Okay, guys? Ironclad. Reduce your damage taken by direct damage attacks by 2% per stage. This is an assignable, a slottable, and it is very good, right? It's the opposite of Master at Arms. Now, reduces your damage taken from direct damage attacks. Direct damage attacks is anything that does the damage up front, remember? Not a dot, but everything else besides a dot, alright? It's a very good CP. Definitely get this one, alright, guys? Last one in this tree is Resilience. Grants 132 critical resistance per stage, up to 660, and it is a slottable, guys. This is meant to reduce your critical damage taken, okay? Mainly from players in PvP. You got those Nightblades that do high crit damage, some Sorks do high crit damage, Templars can do high crit damage. Anybody can make a crit build, right? This helps us get our critical resistance up, which makes it so we take less damage from critical attacks. Alright, guys? Very important CP. Other people will argue this, but going into next patch, you definitely want to have this one slotted, because procs are going to be critting, and it's just going to be insane. Alright, guys? Backing out of that tree, we're going down to this one, unassailable. Reduce your damage taken by area of effect attacks by 2% per stage. This is a slottable. Area of effect attacks. Attacks that are in the area that can apply to multiple people, alright guys? We can reduce the damage by that up to 10%. Next one, Bulwark. When you have a shield or frost staff equipped, your spell and physical resistance is increased by 1900. What that means is, when you have a shield equipped or a frost staff, your actual armor will go up by 1900, guys. Alright, so you'll have more armor to defend. And this is a slottable, so be careful. Another slottable, Cutting Defense. You deal 711 magic damage to attackers whenever they damage you with a direct damage attack within 7 meters. This basically means is that you return magic damage to someone whenever they hit you with direct damage, which is mostly all the time. Okay, I don't think this one's that good. I don't recommend it. Reinforced. When you begin bracing is blocking, you gain a damage shield that absorbs 5911 damage for 3 seconds and occur every 10 seconds. So this means is when we're blocking, we can get a 6k damage shield for 3 seconds, and then 7 seconds later we can get that again. Alright? It is a slottable, so be careful. Enduring Resolve is reduce your damage taken by damage over time effects by 2% per stage up to 10%. This is the dots that we get hit by, guys, right? Everything other than direct damage. These are dots. Damage over time. Something that, takes 10 seconds to do the full damage amount. This reduces our damage taken by that, right? We don't need this. It is good, though, if you want to run it. Duelist Rebuff. Reduces the damage taken by single target attacks. Anything that is only meant for one person. This reduces it by 10%. It is an assignable, slottable, so watch out. Repost. When you block an attack from an enemy within 7 meters, you deal physical damage back to the attacker. What this means is when you block an attack, you do that damage back to the attacker. Alright guys, it is a slottable, so be careful on that. And then Last Stand, when you take damage below 20% health, you gain Major Heroism, granting 3 ultimate every 1.5 seconds for 9 seconds. It can occur once every 9 seconds. So, when you take damage below 20% health, you can generate ultimate every 1.5 seconds for 9 seconds, which makes you get to your ultimate faster. This is not that good, guys. Alright, don't run this. Please don't run this. Up here, Eldritch Insight grants you Magicka per stage. This is a passive, so definitely get this, guys. Alright, we're going to go up here. Crit Precision grants 160 critical chance per stage. This is a passive, guys, so we do want this. Critical chance is kind of self-explanatory. It ups our chances to do critical damage, right? So the more critical chance you have, the more of a chance it is that you're going to do a critical strike on someone, okay? Fighting Finesse. Increase your critical damage and critical healing done by 2% per stage. Goes up to 10%, guys. I'm pretty sure. Yep, 10%. And it is a slottable, so you watch out for that. Like it says, it increases your critical damage and critical healing by 2% per stage. So we'll have more crit damage, and our critical healing will hit harder, okay, with this slottable. Backstabber. Increase your critical damage by 3% per stage against enemies you are flanking. This is a slottable. It can go all the way up to 15% damage. So what happens is that it increases your critical damage by 15% if you strike someone that you're flanking, which means you have to be behind them or on the sides of them, right behind their shoulders for this to work. It is a slottable, so watch out. Occult Overlord. When you kill an enemy under the effect of a status effect, they violently explode for 2200 oblivion damage per stage to all enemies in a 4-meter radius. So let's say you, and this is a slottable, so watch out. Let's say you applied, I don't know, the burning status effect, right, from fire. If someone dies while they're under that effect, they will explode for the damage it says, and it will do damage to everyone in a 4-meter radius. So this is good for trash mobs and PvE, but it can be used for in PvP for bombing builds. All right. Next one is Wrathful Strikes. Grants 33 weapon and spell damage to your damaging abilities per stage. This is a slottable, guys. This basically just gives us more damage to our attacks, okay? Gives us more damage, and I'm pretty sure this one's not reflected in the stat page. Reaving Blows, when you deal direct damage, you heal for 7% of the damage done, and it is a slottable, guys. Now, when you deal direct damage, you heal for it, right? So direct damage is everything besides a dot, all right? Damage over time. Direct damage is damage up front, all right? And if you have this, you will heal for 7% of that damage you do every time you do that. Every time you do direct damage, you'll heal for 7% of that, all right? Mainly used for PvE. I've never really seen anyone use it for PvP, so don't. Next, Master Creation has its own tree, so let's dive into that. Blessed, increase your healing done by 1% per stage, up to 2%. It is a passive, so you can have this. Your healing done. So that means the healing that you actually can do from your character, right? That is boosted by 2%. The healing that you can put out to other players or yourself, alright? Next one is Salve of Renewal. Whenever you remove a harmful effect from yourself or an ally, you sanctify the ground beneath them and heal them within 8 meters for 1300 health per stage. Now what this means is, it is a slottable, so pay attention to that. What this means is, when you purge an effect from yourself or an ally, you heal for 1300 health per stage. Or they heal for 1300 health, alright? This is mainly focused on healers, definitely. And probably more for PvE than anything, okay? Alright, so down Open Fusion. It is a slottable. Healing yourself or an ally under 50% grants them minor heroism for 1 second for every 300 magic recovery you have. It can occur once every 10 seconds. This is assignable, like I said. When you heal yourself or an ally under 50%, you grant them minor heroism, so that means that they're getting their ultimate back faster, and it's for every 300 magic recovery you have. So if you have let's say 900 mag recovery, it's going to be for only 3 seconds, right? They're only going to get their minor heroism for 3 seconds if you have 900 mag recovery. Okay, so like I said, this whole tree is pretty much for healers, so you don't really need to pay attention too much if you're a PvPer. Down here, From the Brink, whenever you heal yourself or an ally under 25% health, you give them a damage shield. 2500 damage shield for 6 seconds. So yeah, basically, it's a slottable. So when you heal yourself or an ally that's, under 25% health, you give them a damage shield. And it goes up, the more you rank it up, the more of a damage shield it is. Like I said, focus for healers, guys. And then, Enlivening Overflow. Overhealing yourself or an ally grants them health, magicka, stamina recovery equal to 0.5% of your max magicka, up to a cap of 150 for 6 seconds. Now what this means, guys, is if you're a healer and you have, whatever your max magicka is, and you overheal someone or yourself, you're going to give them their recoveries up to 150, right? So they'll get an extra 150 stam, magicka, and health recovery. I guess it's decent, but like I said, this is mainly for healers, guys, mainly PvE focused. PvP, some people use these things, but not everyone does, alright? Back out, we got our last ones to go over in the blue tree. Focus Mending, very good CP skill, increase your healing done with single target heals, guys. It is a slottable. Single target heals is anything that is healing a single target, alright, just like it says. That's healing one person at once, right? That's what that means. Next one, Cleansing Revival. Healing a target under 25% removes all harmful effects from them. Basically means this, when you heal them under 25%, you'll be purging all negative effects from the person that you healed, whether it be yourself or your friend, okay? It is a slottable. Next slottable, Foresight. After you drink a potion, the cost of your magicka and stamina healing abilities used in 6 seconds are reduced by 75%. Another healer focused one. So after you drink a potion, guys, the cost of your healing abilities that takes magicka or stamina is reduced by 75%. So if you have this slotted and you pop a potion, you can spam heal so good and it won't kill your sustain. Alright, that's what that means. It is a slottable. Next slottable, Rejuvenator, grants 33 weapon and spell damage to your healing abilities per stage. What this means, guys, is that it gives you weapon and spell damage, right, to your healing abilities. What that does is the more weapon and spell damage you have to your respected healing ability, it buffs the potency of the heal. Now, the more weapon damage you have, your stamina heal is going to do more. The more spell damage you have, your magic heal is going to do more. Alright, guys? And then Soothing Tide, increase your healing done by area of effect heals, guys. This is, you know, self-explanatory. Any heals that put out a wide radius and heal multiple people. And then Swift Renewal is healing done with healing over time effects. That is basically, you know, hit that on somebody and it goes over a duration. Okay, guys? Okay, guys, next is the red tree, which is on the right side of the screen. It is fitness. Okay, guys, this is mainly focused on defense, okay, in PvE and PvP. All right, mainly defense. Let's go over it. First things first, let's go down here. Juggernaut. This is a slottable, guys. While under the effects of crowd control immunity, you take 1% less damage per stage, up to 5% less damage. What this means is, guys, while under the effects of crowd control immunity is after you've been stunned or immobilized, you have a window where you cannot be stunned or immobilized again. Alright, I think it's 7 seconds or 8 seconds. Now, after you've been stunned, that 8 seconds, you'll have 5% damage mitigation from all sources until you can be stunned again. That's what that means, okay, guys? It is an assignable, so watch out. Up here we have Defiance. This is a passive. Reduce the cost of break free by 110 stamina per stage, up to 220. You want this. It helps your sustain for stamina, because when you break free, it definitely costs a lot of stamina to break free, so the more you can reduce it, the better. Okay, we want that. Up here, Hardened. This is an assignable, slottable. Increase the duration of crowd control immunity by 3% per stage. Now, remember I said crowd control immunity is after you've been stunned or immobilized, you have a window of like 8 seconds where you can't be stunned or immobilized. This increases the duration of that. Alright, so from 8 seconds to 10 seconds, okay? That's what this CP node does. Up here, Boundless Vitality grants us 28 max health per stage. This one, guys, this is an assignable. This gives us max health, essentially, yeah. It gives us health, guys, so we can survive more hits. If you need health, you need extra health that you're not getting from your sets, this is where you'll get it, okay? Fortified gives us armor. Alright, it is an assignable, but yeah, Fortified gives us armor, which means it gives us spell and physical resistance, okay? So if you need more armor, this is the one you want. Up here, Rejuvenation gets 1.8 health, magic, and stamina recovery per stage. I believe it goes up to 90. So when you have this slotted, it gives you 90 more magicka, stamina, and health recovery. Okay, so it helps your sustain. Right here, Unchained. When you use Break Free, the cost of your next stamina ability used within 5 seconds is reduced by 11% per stage. This is an assignable. What that means is after you break free, the next stamina ability you use within 5 seconds is going to be cost reduced, alright? It's going to cost less. I don't really like this slottable. I wouldn't run it. This one right here is one of the most overpowered CPs in the game. Slippery. When you're affected by a disabling effect, you automatically break free for no cost, right? And after using this effect, you become winded and cannot trigger it for 21 seconds. So, what that means is, when you're stunned and you need to... Remember I said break free costs a lot of stamina? This slottable makes it so it doesn't cost anything. But then you can't use this same effect for 21 seconds, alright? It's very good, just make sure you use it wisely. Peace of Mind, increase your magicka and health recovery while under the effects of crowd control immunity. So while you can't be stunned for those 8 seconds, you'll have an increased magicka and health recovery. This could be good for magicka users, but I don't know. I think there's better CPs. And then Hardened increases the... Oh, I think I already did that, guys. I'm done. So let's go down to this one, okay? Tumbling, reduce the cost of roll dodge per stage. Roll dodge costs stamina, right? We want to reduce the cost of that as much as possible, and it is a passive, so that's the best part about it. Alright, this one here, Expert Evasion. Your next roll dodge is free of cost, and then after you consume it, you can't use the same effect for 30 seconds. This means, guys, is that when this effect is up that we can use, we will roll dodge for free, okay? Helps sustain, helps your stamina, so you can attack more. It is very good, although I don't like it too much, okay guys? Next up, we have Survivor Spite Tree, okay? This one, Mystic Tenacity, reduces the duration of elemental status effects applied to you by 5% per stage. It is a passive. It's very good. I suggest you get it. You know, elemental status effects, like I said, being concussed, burning, brittle. We want to reduce all that by... We want to reduce, you know, the duration of all those, okay, guys? And that's what this one does. Up here, Pain's Refuge, one of my favorite new CPs. Reduce your damage taken by 1% per negative effect on you, up to a maximum of 20%. This isn't assignable, or a slottable, guys. So what this means is, every negative effect you have on you, that can be applied by, monsters or players, it gives you damage mitigation. Each one gives you 1% damage mitigation. So if you have 8 effects on you, that's 8% damage mitigation. That's really good, okay? It's especially good for outnumbered fights, okay? Down here, Sustained by Suffering, increase your health, magic, and stamina recovery by 30 per stage. I believe it goes up to 150 while under the effects of a negative effect. This could help your sustain, guys. What this means is when you have a negative effect on you and you have this slotted, you'll get more recovery for health, magic, and stamina. Alright? This one over here, Relentlessness, isn't assignable. Being stunned or feared causes you to gain major protection for 3 seconds, reducing your damage taken by 10%. Alright guys, so when we're stunned and we're trying to break free, or we're feared and we're trying to break free from that, we get major protection, reducing our damage taken by 10%. So that's really good. Give you some breathing room so you can, you know, not die after being stunned, alright? It's very good. It is a slottable, so watch out. Alright. Up here, Survival Instincts. While affected by a status effect, your core combat skills cost 5% less. This one is a very good CP. What that means is, whenever you have any kind of status effect on you, your core combat skills cost less. That's roll dodge, break free, sprint, blocking. Alright, that's all those. Okay, they all will cost less if you have a status effect on you, and you have this one slotted, okay? It's a very good one. Tempered Soul, return to life after resurrection with 5% more resources, okay? This is a passive, so you want to get this when you can. What this means is, you know, when you get revived, you have more health, stamina, and magicka, okay? Because normally when you get revived, your resources are very low, right? And they gotta regenerate. But having this passive gives us, so we don't have to regenerate as much, okay? When we come back to life. Spirit Mastery decreases the time it takes to resurrect an ally by 33%. This is a slottable, so I wouldn't run it, but it does decrease the time it takes to resurrect your friends. So, if you want to be a good friend, slot this. Over here, Arcane Alacrity. I can never say that. Alacrity, whatever. While under the effects of a damage shield, your dodge roll costs 160 less stamina per stage. This is very good for mag sorks, okay guys? Or anybody that runs damage shields that needs more sustain. So when you have a shield on you, damage shield, it costs less to roll dodge, alright? Very good. It is a slottable, so watch out. Alright, down to here. I believe we went up this way. Yep, so this... We have Bastion. Increase the effectiveness of your damage shields and damage against shielded enemies. This is a slottable. So, this does two things, right? It makes it so your damage shields are 15% stronger. Your own damage shields, right? It also means that you do more damage to people that have a damage shield applied to them, okay? So, it does two things. It's very good. A lot of Magicka sorcerers run it. It's definitely a good one, okay? That's the reason why I have it, because I'm on my mag sword. Okay, guys? Now, let's go to this one. Piercing Gaze. Increase your stealth detection by 1 meter per stage. It's a passive, so we're definitely going to want that. So yeah, you know, you're trying to look for that pesky Nightblade. This makes it so, you know, your stealth detection meter is increased, so you can see him easier, right? That's what that means. Heroes Well, let's go to this one real quick. Shield Master. Reduce the cost of damage shields by 2% per stage. This is a slottable. So yeah, reduces the cost of your whatever, you know, if your damage shield costs stamina or magicka, this is going to reduce the cost of it, okay? Hero's Vigor gives us max health. It is a passive, so you definitely want to fill this out, guys. You know, gives us more max health. Who doesn't want max health? Okay. Up to here, Strategic Reserve gains 30 health recovery for every 10 ultimate you have. What this means is, you know how your ultimate has a number? Let's say, you know, some ultimates cost 130 or whatever. Your ultimate builds up as you do attacks, okay? And it builds up to a number. Now, it's a number, let's, for example, say 100, right? You have 100 ultimate. That means that you have 300 extra health recovery, right? This used to be really good, but health recovery got nerfed in PvP. In PvE, this is probably really good, but it isn't assignable, so we don't want this, guys, alright? But it is good. It gives you more health recovery the more ultimate you have, alright? But when you use that ultimate, all the health recovery goes away until you build up your stacks again. Alright, guys? This one, Siphoning Skills, restore 300 magicka per stage whenever you kill an enemy. It is a slottable, so yeah, when you kill somebody, you get magicka back, whether it be PvE or PvP. Bloody Renewal is almost the same, but for stamina, you restore 300 stamina per stage whenever you kill an enemy. So yeah, whenever you kill an NPC or a player, you restore stamina if you have this slotted. But like I said, there's slottables and there's better slottables, guys, alright? Make sure you fill out all the passives, though, that don't say assign, right? Those are the passive ones. We need all the passives. Go to here, Wind Chaser. It's in its own tree. Let's check it out. Increase your movement speed when sprinting by 2% per stage. This is a passive, guys. So we want this. So yeah, when we're sprinting, we're 4% faster, okay? Up here, this is an assignable. Thrill of the Hunt. When you kill an enemy, you gain Major Expedition. Increase your movement speed by 30%. But, yep, so when you kill someone, you're 30% faster for 3 seconds. That's what that means. I don't know if I'd use it, because I have forms of Major Expedition, but it might be good. Another assignable, Refreshing Stride. While sprinting, you gain 100 health and magic recovery per stage. I think it's up to 500. So yeah, when you're sprinting, guys, your mag and health recovery is going to go up to 500 while sprinting. Very good for magicka users, okay? And it is a slottable, so watch out for that. Alright. Celerity, one of my favorite assignables. Increase your movement speed by 2% per stage, up to 10%. This increases your movement speed no matter what. Whether it be in combat, out of combat, sprinting, not sprinting. It increases your overall movement speed by 10%, guys, alright? Very good slottable for the red tree. Back out of that, go down to here, Sprinter. Reduce the cost of sprint by 20 stamina per stage. It is a passive, so you'll want this. Just helps our sustain, right? It's going to cost less to sprint and get away. This one is an assignable for sprint. It reduces the cost of sprint even more while under the effects of crowd control immunity, right? So when you have that 8-second window of not being able to be stunned, your sprint costs less. This is assignable, okay. And then it brings us to up here, Tireless Guardian. Reduce the cost of block by 20 stamina per stage. It is a passive, so you want this, guys. So yeah, reduce the cost of block. We block to mitigate damage, but when we block, it costs stamina. This makes it so it costs less stamina to block, okay? Fortification, another passive. Increase the amount of damage you can block by 2% per stage. Definitely want to max this out, so when you're blocking, you're going to mitigate even more damage while blocking with this passive, okay? Up here, On Guard, while under the effects of crowd control immunity, like I said, that 8 seconds where you can't be stunned, increase the amount of damage you can block by 2% per stage. This assignable right here is actually a really good one. Makes you be able to, when you can't be stunned, right? When you have immunity to crowd control, you can block more damage. Okay, that's what that essentially means. Up here, Bashing Brutality increases our bash damage. Now, bashing is when you block, and then you hit the other trigger. That takes your weapon you're blocking with and bashes them. Alright, so blocking is holding the right trigger, and then bashing is hitting the left trigger while blocking. Okay? This increases the damage of our bash. This passive right here. Alright, guys? Last but not least, I believe that's the last one. Yep, over here, Walking Fortress, another tree. Increase your movement, or Nimble Protector increases your movement speed while bracing by 3% per stage. So when you're blocking, it makes it so you can move faster while blocking, because when you're blocking, you're really slow. So this pass is really good. Now, the rest of these three are assignables. We got Wardmaster, reduces your damage taken by 2% per stage while blocking, and under the effects of a damage shield. What this means is, you have to be blocking and have a damage shield applied to you, and you'll be able to reduce more damage while blocking. Okay. This one, Bracing Anchor, while in combat, increase the amount of damage you can block by 4% per stage, but reduces your movement speed by 16% at all stages. So this slottable means this makes it so you can mitigate more damage while blocking, but at the cost of reducing your movement speed. So you'll be able to block more, but you'll move slower, okay? I don't think it's too good. Last but not least, Soothing Shield. Whenever you successfully block an attack, you have a 15% chance to restore health, okay? It does go up more than 149 if you max it out. Remember, it's a slottable, guys. So yeah, when you block, you have a chance, or you have a 15% chance to restore health every time you block, okay? Decent for tanks, I guess. But yeah, that is the red tree. And it's the end of the video. I know it was a long one, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Peace out.